It's a Wednesday afternoon game from Target Field in Minneapolis. Final game of the series between our Royals and the Minnesota Twins. Hi, everybody. Steve Physiok, Rex Hudler with you, and we are delighted to say that the Royals scored more than 5 runs for the first time in 1 month. They scored 9 last night, got the win. Our Kubota Power Stats say it's all about the offense.
Hey, how about rolling it over to maybe a series victory on the road? First one, that would be sweet on this trip. Whit Merrifield, Salvador Perez, Mondesi, 3-run bomb. Are you kidding me? Man, this is what they've been waiting for, Fizz, an outburst. The thirst of runs is over. It's quenched. Look at that. Look at Jersley. He's even into it. Alex Gordon? Come on, Fizz. Man, if we can see that today, that would be a beautiful thing.
And now they'd love to see a terrific start by this young man, Birch Smith, making his first start with the Royals. Smith against Lance Lynn and Minnesota. That story's next. Birch Smith will make his first start in almost 5 years for the Kansas City Royals. The big right-hander was terrific against the Boston Red Sox, had a slow start this year, but last 5 he has been strong.
He's been great, Fizz. He had to get his feet wet. Are you kidding me? The guy's had elbow problems for the last few years. Now he's back and he's ready to go. This start should be an excellent one for him. Get the series.
Fastball, curveball, changeup for Birch Smith, making his first start since September 27, 2013. He'll be opposed by the veteran Lance Lynn and Minnesota. We'll be right back. Game won 3-1, but the Royals knocked out Minnesota last night 9-4. Excitement here at Target Field as Kansas City is looking for their first back-to-back wins since May 29th and 30th against Minnesota. Game of this three-game series between the Royals and the Minnesota Twins. 81 degrees. Steve Pizziak, Rex Adler, Joe Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery here at Target Field. And the Royals batting order, well, they scored 4 or more runs in 5 of their last 7 games, hitting .279. Whit Merrifield with another 2 hits yesterday. And Mondesi, a home run and 4 RBIs. That was a career high.
A plethora of runs, Fizz. All we need is 5 today, I got a feeling. Birch Smith and company to the pin to win. It's going to happen.
It's a beautiful day for baseball. This is Twins territory. Beautiful ballpark. Sparse crowd today as the Minnesota Twins are only 40-49, but only 8.5 games back of the Cleveland Indians, who suffered a very difficult loss last night. And now they take the field dressed in their home whites, the Royals in their road grays, and on the hill it will be Lance Lynn, a big right-hander at 6'5", 275.
That's right, Fizz. He knows how to pitch, that's for sure. He's going to throw predominant fastballs to the Royals hitters. Now you can hit it, be looking for it. The opponents are hitting 270 off of him. 85 strikeouts and 86 in the 3rd innings. He will get his share of strikeouts. He's got a good 2-seamer. Okay, here's our keys. Be patient with him because he has almost 6 walks per 9 innings. Now, when you use the word patient around a Kansas City Royals offense, that's usually a bad word because we're aggressive. We're out hacking. Maybe we can get a couple of guys on, get him over, get him in, beat him, win a series.
That's the second highest behind Tyler Chatwood of the Cubs, 7.97. How about the Twins defense?
Eddie Rosario, okay, fans, let's vote him in. It's the last day we can get him in there. He's got 7 outfield assists. He's pretty good. Logan Morrison, the Kansas City Kids over there playing first base, his 40th start this season. Let's see what he can do. And it's all up to the offense to attack that fastball.
There's the crew chief, Ted Barrett, one of the great umpires in our game. Lance Barksdale at first base, Will Little at second base, and Tom Woodring is at third base. Minnesota won on Monday 3-1. The Royals came back last night to win by a final score of 9-4. Brian Flynn got his first win of the year with 4 shutout solid innings.
Flynn to win.
All right.
Believe it. Let's go, Whitley. Stay hot.
He has his second longest hit streak in his career. He had a 19-gamer last year. He has hit in 12 straight, 23 hits to raise his average to 306. And taking his time to get comfortable, and now ready. First pitch fouled off, strike one.
It's really good to be in a groove like he's in. Now, personally, I never was in a groove like that, but I had my moments, Fizz. The ball looks big when you're hitting like Whitley, and he stays inside of that ball. He's going to hit that ball wherever it's pitched, as it ever did of last night's game.
Archaea drive to success with Whit Merrifield. He's one of the leaders in the American League, 9th now in batting, 8th in hits with 104, tied for second with Bregman of Houston with 29, and the leader, of course, is a Twin, their third baseman Escobar. Two balls, two strikes.
He had a cookie there. He just missed. Now, during his little hitting streak, actually, that's a pretty big hitting streak, almost 500. I call that lava hot, Fizz. When you're over 450, that's lava. Ooh, man, he has taken some good rips. That's 2 in a row. And the good thing about Lance Lynn, if you're a hitter, you eliminate the thinking all the way. He's going to give you something good to hit. He's an old-fashioned, here it is, hit it.
Only Bartolo Colon throws more fastballs than Lynn. Bartolo at 79% and Lynn at 77%. Sometimes four-seamers, other times two. Got it on his hands.
You know, he's able to change speeds on his fastball. We talked about that. Just, look for the heater. But anywhere from 90 to 95, sometimes that turns that fastball into multiple pitches just by the fact you can change speeds.
He does have a good curveball, but doesn't go to it that often. And he gets the fastball across, and Whit swings and misses and strikes out, one down.
So now Whitley's walking back saying, you know what, I missed my chance. I had good pitches to hit and I missed them. It's that simple. And he'll probably tell him, hey, look, here's what he's got. But you know that 114 opponent average on the curve, that's been his money pitch. Doesn't throw it all that often, but look him up in the zone. He'll give you something. Be ready.
Fouled off, strike one. Bonifacio still looking for his first home run. Lynn doesn't give up very many. Only 8 allowed this year. 4 to right-handers, 4 to lefties.
It's pretty good. Almost 87 innings pitched.
Six for his last 16. The numbers on Lynn remind you a little of Brad Keller. A lot of fastballs, but able to keep that fastball down, whether it's four-seam or two-seam.
Yep. Pounds the strike zone best he can. Although we talked about the key is to be patient. He'll walk you. Our guys like to hit. They like to swing.
Two balls, two strikes. Royals ended their 10-game losing streak last night. Meantime, they ended Minnesota's 5-game win streak. It seems like that fastball has a little late life with some of the swings we've seen.
Yeah, so far I'm wondering why they haven't been able to barrel some of these pitches. Now they're up and they're hittable, and he's saying here it is. So far, no solid contact. Every single 12 of those pitches, all fastballs. There's another one, 94. We're underneath it. Maybe they're shooting for right field. It looks to me like Whitley and now Bonifacio really trying to push the ball to right with their bottom hands leading.
They're shading Bonifacio towards right center. A lot of room in left center between Rosario and Jake Cave.
Try him in.
And there's a line drive to center field by Jorge. So his hit streak has now reached 5 straight, 7 hits in that span.
Right where he wanted it with that inside out swing. Came in, he hit his spot where Bobby Wilson, but look at that. That is a beautiful attack type swing. Controlled. Look at that front foot. I love the fact he doesn't get out on that front foot. It contains his body weight. He can trust his hands.
Now Mike Moustakas. Only 1 hit in his last 3 games. Has seen that batting average dip to 251.
All right, Moose is going to look for his fastball.
And he hits it up the middle. Dozier with an excellent play, but the ball is dropped by the shortstop Polanco.
Man, you're a Royals offense right now. You got to make them pay for that. That's an inning-ending double play. Fielder's choice E6 routine. Polanco clanked it. Wow. Lance Lynn's probably got to be saying, man, my second baseman stretched out and he couldn't even catch it, a routine ball. Oh well. I'd like to say that's a physical mistake. That might be more mental. Yep, I feel you, bud. But that's pretty good. He's control. That's not a bad body language talk right there by Lynn. I've seen a lot worse by pitchers.
He has induced 10 double plays this year. Salvi has hit into 14, and the first pitch is low and in. Perez a couple of hits, including a double in this game, and just loves hitting at target field. He's hit 16 home runs against Minnesota, and 14 have come in this ballpark. And he hits this one well. Away back and away gone. 3-0 Royals.
Lance Lynn doesn't have to say anything else. The inning was over. All his shortstop had to do was catch the ball and throw it, as simple as Little League. And look what happens. The Royals are on top. Salvador Perez punished that one. That's a heater that had backspin that left the yard in 2.4 seconds. 108 exit velo. You want the numbers, Fizz? There they are. Oh, that ball was tattered and battered, and that's at least a week's work of Joel Goldberg's laundry. You can hang on that. It was below
the knees too, but center cut, like you say.
Yep, beautifully done. Got some backspin on it.
So instead of being
that's a liner
on defense, the Royals still on offense, leading 3-0. And you said you got to make them pay, and they did.
That's right. You know what? You miss like that. Oh, that's as elementary a miss as it can happen at this level.
Now Lucas Duda shy for a ball, and it's a 1-1 count. And Lucas rips one down the line hard, but foul.
Man, that tore a row of seats out, Fizz.
You wonder if Lance Lynn still has that double play that was missed in the back of his mind.
No.
He made the mistake to Salvador Perez.
It was not a mistake. That was a great pitch by him. Salvi golfed that out with a 3-iron. It was perfect. Now, he's a veteran pitcher. He's let that past him, Fizz. That's over. You got to get rid of that.
StatCast powered by AWS.
Okay, check it out. Now, this is the last 100 batted balls, hit less than 200 feet. This is what he does. He pulls the ball. That's why they're playing him that way.
Although the right fielder, Max Kepler, about 10 feet from the warning track. He went. Ball in the dirt. Bobby Wilson's throw will get him. And 2 outs in the first. So 2 strikeouts here in inning number 1 for Lance Lynn, and Alex Gordon will come up. Alex was able to pick up his first RBI in a month. His previous was a home run he hit against the Oakland A's on June 9th, and then he went deep last night. And the Royals' 9-4 victory.
Okay, Alex Gordon, that's middle. Now he has a knack to pull the ball, we know, but he just hasn't been able to get underneath it this year. But he did last night for his 6th home run. That was timely. They needed that. So did he.
Alex rolls it past the mound right to Polanco, the shortstop, who will throw him out, but the Royals get 3 on the home run by Salvador Perez.
Oh, that's a Jeff Montgomery 3-iron.
Perez home run. Here's a look at the Twins batting order. Mauer, Rosario, Dozier, then Escobar. Logan Morrison is in the lineup tonight, the kid you talked about from Kansas City, and so too is Jake Cave, their new center fielder they picked up from New York.
I like him. Cave is an action player. He can fly, can run. Now Burt Smith toeing the slab for the first time in 7 years as a starter. This is going to be a good day, especially after his team got him 3 nice ribeye steaks in the first inning. Okay, pound in. He's got a good fastball. 5.0% line drive percent on inside fastballs. That's really good. That's a good low percentage in the American League.
Now we're hitting 266. Not much power at this stage in his career, but a dangerous hitter, particularly to the opposite field, and the Royals will defend him straight up on the infield, shade him towards left in the outfield. Line drive back at the middle by Mauer. That's his 5th hit of the series.
Royals forward around the horn defense. Alex Gordon picked up his 8th outfield assist in last night's game. That's 3rd best in the American League. He just won behind the league leaders. He's solid. They know that. They still run on him. Lucas Duda, just one error in 29 starts this year. He got good hands and good feet, Fizz. He's a nice player.
Now a dangerous player in Eddie Rosario. That all-star vote came out today, and Rosario was finished 4th right now as Gene Segura had the American League lead in the fan vote.
But it ends tonight at 8 Eastern. He's still got a chance, even though he's up against some big market players with a lot of people that have access to vote. He needs all the help he can get.
Gene Segura right now is #1, followed by Benintendi, Giancarlo Stanton of New York, and then Rosario, and then Simmons of the Angels. Good fastball up. Missed his pitch.
Yep. Velocity down, and it might be a little bit down for Bert Smith because he's starting. He's got to conserve a little bit. Ed Yost said what, he'd go 50, 60 pitches today? 60 to 70. Yeah. Okay, then look, he's going to have to bring in all of his pitches. Now, not necessarily first time through. He wants to see how they're handling his fastball.
Foul. His pitch efficiency was outstanding in his last outing. It was 4 innings against the Boston Red Sox on July 6th. Only threw 50 pitches in 4 innings.
He likes to attack the strike zone. That's what you do as a reliever. As a starter, you can kind of feel your way around it a little bit more.
Last 5 outings, he is not allowed to run.
He's earned this opportunity. And when the spot came up, here he is. And so far, in his 7 pitches, I like his tempo.
Ed Yost was talking about Burst, just saying, I want him to be aggressive down. And he gets his first out on a strikeout of Eddie Rosario.
See, you get him all set on the fastball, then you throw the changeup. Good spot, down and away. That's a beauty. Look at the movement. There's a little bit of movement down and off the plate to the lefties. That's a good spot. .188 opponent average on the change. There it was. Hard to hit. Good spot. Sets it up with the heater. 63% of them fill up the zone. Let the fastball eat.
Now Dozier, who loves the fastball, so Birch starts him out with the first pitch curveball, 77 miles an hour for strike 1. Dozier always looking to pull that ball.
Yep, and we all know how prepared Drew Butera is behind the plate. Does a good job of studying. He understands what the pitch, what the hitter's strengths are, what their weaknesses are. He does his homework. He does a good job a couple days a week when he gets in there.
And you talked about his line drive rate on inside fastballs, only 5%. We just saw him come inside on Dozier hard at 93.
Yep, that's where he wants to stay. And back him off the plate.
Hit well center field. Merrifield has room and right up against the fence makes the catch back to first base. Mauer. And Birch may have got away with one.
Yes, he did. Deepest part of the yard, though, and Whitley was right there. 4-11. Just wants to keep that heater down, but that's a good spot for it. I mean, it's down, but Dozier put a good rip on it. He's a dead red fastball hitter. Whitley with plenty of room. He loves to play center field.
He has said before that is his natural position, that he played most growing up in the amateur ranks. Now Escobar.
Outside
big rip there.
Yeah, outside of Smith getting his fastballs in there on the inner half, you know, that's his key. Getting through this first inning unscathed would be big for confidence.
Escobar hitting 54, hitting 4th because he has 54 RBIs. Clutch player. Strike in there on the curve. Our Toyota League leaders on extra base hits this year, Escobar with 51, and that's why they have him cleaning up, even though he's only 5 feet 10 inches tall, 185 pounds. You usually see the big sluggers there, but Miguel Sano is down in the minor leagues for the Twins right now. Lindor with 52 for Cleveland. High. How about the Tribes lost last night? Trevor Bauer throws 8 shutout innings, leaves with a 6-run lead, and the bullpen blows it in the ninth.
Hang with them.
Cody Allen blew it.
They have some issues, and you know what? It's going to happen, Fizz. You can't be perfect at this level all the time. Oh, yeah. Stay fair, please.
Nope. Foul ball, Lucas Duda.
Oh, Ted Barrett was calling it fair.
Well, Barrett has the call until it's past first base.
Well, sure. And see, I don't know that Ned's not saying much right now. Drew Butera is, and I think, you know, Ted Barrett, he knows it's a getaway day. Why not call the out? Let's go. It's a getaway day. That's see, Ted Barrett, watch this. There you go. Ted's calling it fair. But
and Ned debated it, but
Lance Barksdale ended up winning out. Got to keep that change down, that change up.
Two out, one on for Minnesota. The Royals scored 3 in the first on Salvador Perez's 12th home run this year. And it's a fine play by Adam Mondesi. Bert Smith with a shutout first inning.
Rosell Herrera in the dugout for the Royals. Might see him later in the game off of the bench, but may not see him over the next few days, or at least until after the All-Star break. Joel Goldberg at Target Field, and here is the deal. Rosie telling me that following the game today, he's going to hop on a plane, head to New Jersey. That is where his wife, Patricia, is expecting their first baby to be born either tomorrow or possibly Friday morning. She's out in New Jersey staying with family, so it'll be their first child. They are expecting a baby girl who they will name Rosaline. So it'll be another Rosie in the Herrera family. And then how about the great timing, guys, because you do get 3 days of paternity leave, and then the All-Star break comes. So the soon-to-be new father should have a nice week to spend with the brand new baby.
Oh, that's a great story, Joel. So congratulations to Rosel Herrera. His brother lives in New York, Ronnie.
Hey, that's a great job and good timing. You know, timing's everything. But you gotta love Rosaline for line drive. I like it.
Well, it's much like Joe Goldberg, who is a rose in between two thorns like us.
Well, I don't know about that. That rose is pretty thorny.
Escobar the batter, and he swings and misses and strikes out. That's 3 strikeouts for Lance Lynn. That'll take us to Adalberto Mondesi, who had a terrific offensive game last night. Knocked in a run with a single and then came up with 2 on and did this.
Oh, look, and you know what? It's okay to pose on that because he got every ounce of that ball.
Way back, almost completely out of this stadium.
Oh, to have that talent, just got to continue to get out there and stay healthy and play each day. That's all you want to do. You have that kind of ability.
Yeah, Terry Bradshaw said incredible talent, but still understanding the strike zone. What is his pitch? Chopper past the mound. Going to be a tough play for Dozier. Just in time.
Dozier's good on those plays. He's as good as they get. He comes in aggressively and he'll use his glove hand sometimes just to flip it over there without transferring it to the hand. But he had perfect amount of time to get it.
Royals want to wait just a second. Told Mondesi to stay out there, and Ned still with his hand up, and
he's out.
Nope, he's saying he's out. So
they got it. Well, we can take another look at it. It's close.
It was. This early in the game, though. So it's time for Drew Butera. His first multi-hit game on Sunday since opening day against the White Sox.
Yeah, if you lose that replay at first base, then you lose it for the whole game. It's too early, like you said.
If the Royals hit a triple in today's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the Kansas City Major League Baseball Urban Youth Academy.
Let's see if Royal can get a walk or two today. That's the key. Be patient on it.
Back of the middle, Butera is on.
Love that sound, Fizz. That's beautiful. Whack. Good short compact swing. He knew the heater was coming.
I like how he tipped his cap right at the end after the base hit.
How short that swing is. Bottle that up. Let's do a real speed swing for the people. Oh yeah, look how level the bat head was there. Drew 1 for 1 today. Stay hot.
So now back to the top of the order, and Merrifield, who struck out swinging on a good low outside fastball from Lance Lynn. So now Lynn starts him off with a breaking ball.
Well, you know, watching Lynn in his first inning challenge hitters with fastballs, he threw only 20% off-speed pitches. Now Birch Smith and Birch, he pitched more. He threw 40% off-speed. He was pitching. I like that.
Back-to-back off-speed pitches from Lynn.
It just goes to show you the difference in styles of pitchers. Veteran guys that have pretty good fastball, have success with it, will want to establish that pitch early, like Lynn.
Coming off a victory over Baltimore last Friday, gave up just 1 run in 6 innings. He will throw a lot of pitches, though. He threw 105 pitches in only 6 innings. And That's why he usually only goes 5 or 6, only 7 quality starts in the season, and this is start number 18.
Whitley, he's been very selective this year, a lot more than last year. Last year, in his year where he had 587 at bats, he had 29 walks. This year, he's got 34 walks and 340 ABs coming in. So he's being more patient, more selective. That's going to help his batting average.
Min being a little more careful, throwing a lot more breaking balls in this second meeting with Witt. First time up, we told you, mainly fastballs, almost entirely fastballs in that first duel in the first where he struck him out.
He had 2 walks in last night's game. Right here, jump on him if he comes in the middle. Nope, eyeball him. I like that.
And now a guy who has a lot of extra base hits, 29 doubles this year. Butera will be moving. If he can get one, he could give the Royals a 4-0 lead.
Lots of times that 3-2 pitch, the hitter is really hitterish. But sometimes the pitcher uses that to the pitcher's advantage and will throw him off the plate again. See if Witt can be patient.
So
nice.
The pitcher was skitterish?
Exactly. He was a little skitterish. Yeah, Whitley was not hitterish, and he'll take his walk. That's good for him. Whitley's 35th walk. The MLB.TV All-Star Sale is here for $39.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this sale. Okay, so far so good. Pile on him here. Nice and short. Royals coming off their best hitting night with runners in scoring position all season long. 5 for 9 they were last night.
Bonifacio lined one sharply to center field his first time up. Lynn trying to work him away, and it's a 1-1 count. There was a time where Lance Lynn was one of the top right-handers in the National League. 3 times he won 15 or more games with a career high 18. 2012. That was the year he was a National League All-Star, and the Cardinals, his team, won the World Series.
You know, he would have gotten off to a better start this year, but he didn't have a spring training. It's tough when whether you're a pitcher or an offensive player that you miss the 6 weeks of spring training, because it's imperative to get into competition and get your rhythm down in the spring games.
Signed late with Minnesota, 1 year, $12 million deal. Foul back. And he missed all of 16 because of Tommy John surgery. That was a major setback. I believe one of the reasons that he struggled last year, and St. Louis did not re-sign him. Check swing, but he foul tipped it into the glove, and that is a strikeout, ending the second inning. 3-0 Royals going to the bottom of number 2 at Target Field. Royals with a 3-0 lead here in the Twin Cities, and refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. Royals fans up here in Minneapolis, we see a lot after the ball game when we walk back to the hotel, and a lot of them will drive up here, catch family along the way.
Yeah, we sat with a couple the other night, Fizz, having a little sody pop and talking about the game.
Another couple we saw were visiting. We've been at a wedding north of town. Wanted to see their ball club, their favorite team, the Royals. Here's Logan Morrison, who spent a lot of time in Kansas City growing up. His family moved around. His dad was in the Coast Guard, a former defensive end for the Kansas Jayhawks. Three infielders on the right side. Mondesi in shallow right, about 15 feet. Logan's had a down year. He had a terrific year last year, hitting 38 home runs and knocking in 85.
Yep, 6'3", 245. He's taken after his father's size. But I bet his dad couldn't hit a breaking ball either, or a fastball.
Yeah, but Logan might tell you that I couldn't chase quarterbacks like my dad could.
Well, you can hit fastballs longer than you can chasing quarterbacks. So he did the right thing.
He'll be healthier when he retires.
You would hope.
That other sport is mighty mean on the body. There's a check swing. He went. And that is strikeout number 2 for Birch Smith.
Like I said in the first inning, Fizz, 41% breaking balls from Birch Smith, which is good. He comes out of that pin with his good mid-90s fastball when he's been coming out of the pin and throwing nothing but heaters. Now he's pitching. He's got to use his arsenal. Matter of fact, I'd like to see him use his two-seamer a little bit more, and I'm sure he will, along with the changeup, as long as he's going to stay in and face these batters if he's going to be a starter.
Well, he's always had great stuff. I mean, he made it to the major leagues in 2013 at the age of 23. His first major league win came on September 15th against Atlanta. Dave Holtzman, our associate producer, saw him personally throw 7 shutout innings and strike out 10. So we got our scouting report from Holtzy. Strike in there. So at one time a quality prospect in the San Diego organization, but then a lot of injury problems to that right arm that took almost 3 years from his career. Ball fouled off.
Something that is just impossible to get around. Injuries. There's nothing you can do when that injury bug bites you. There is one thing you can do. Have a good attitude and let your mental side of your healing begin. You have to heal mentally as well as physically.
How about that for a first major league win? Fouled off.
Yeah, those are nice. That's a nice line, wasn't it?
I'll say 10 strikeouts in 7 innings. He's had that good arm. He was honorable mention all Big 12 at Oklahoma. Spent 2 years at Howard Junior College where he was an All-American. Ball's flipped foul. His Howard Junior College team won the national championship in 2009. Do you know what the record was in his 2 years there?
No.
63-1. They lost 1 game. That's crazy.
It's dominance.
Fouled off.
Polanco's battling and milking his pitches.
Eighth pitch is coming to Jorge Polanco, who just came back from the suspended list recently. He had a breakout year last year. 13 home runs, 74 RBIs.
There's some 96 right there, Fizz, and he's doing it all with just an abbreviated windup. He's not a guy who's going to bring his hands over his head, bring him down, swing his leg. He's very compact. Look at a little small step back, hanging breaking ball.
Moose will take care of that soft popper to left.
Fans, help us take on the Twins and fight hunger on Saturday, July 21st by participating in our Royals food drive. Harvesters, the Royals, and Price Chopper will be competing with Second Harvest, Heartland Food Bank, and the Minnesota Twins by bringing donations of canned goods and peanut butter to the stadium. Look for more ways to get involved at Royals.com/step up to the plate. Please help us.
Now Max Kepler.
Birch won with a hanging curve. Good job, Moose. Made that play look easy. It wasn't that easy. That little flare pop up like that has backspin on it, and it carries even though it didn't have much hit velocity.
He'd like to get some early count outs because he's only going 60 to 70 pitches today, and this is his first start with the Royals.
Well, in his 7th batter, that was the first time he didn't throw strike one. So he's doing a great job of getting out there and throwing strike one, whether it be his curve, change, or his fastball. He's doing a good job.
Moose gets in front of it. Quick toss. Just in time.
Nice play.
Molly's going to challenge this possibly.
Like
We'll at least take a look.
Like Mondesi, Fizz. It was close, but no cigar. Just my call. Naked eye.
Oh no.
Let's see if they want to replay that. It was pretty close. I think he wants us to take a look at it anyway.
Yeah, they're going to listen.
Okay, let's see. Ooh, man. That young man, he can run.
Yeah, it's a left-handed batter, and that reverse spin that's coming off the baseball to the opposite field side so tough, and Moose was able to get in front of it rather than backhand.
He might have beat it.
Yeah. Bert Smith took one look up at the scoreboard and started walking back towards the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, he's safe. And my naked eye needs some clothing.
Does. You're going to get arrested.
Yep. Good hustle. Moose did all he could, but that was a squibber.
Now Smith to face Jake Cave. Paul Molitor, the Hall of Famer. Great player for Milwaukee and won a championship here. Molly won that championship in Toronto when the Blue Jays went back-to-back in '92 and '93. Jake Cave, they were able to pick him up from the New York Yankees. Yankees 6th-round draft pick in 2011 out of the state of Virginia, and moved quickly through the Yankee system, Hud. But the Yankees, with a lot of depth in the outfield, guys like Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, who they signed, so he became available to other teams, and Minnesota was able to pick him up.
He's a gap-to-gap type hitter with the ability to pick up some infield singles. He's got good speed. Back-to-back left-handed speed guys in Kepler and now Cave.
Ball struck well, deep right field. Bonifacio. It's a fair ball. And Kepler's coming around. The throw to the plate is not in time. It's a triple for Jake Cave. And that cuts the Royal lead to 3-1.
Jake Cave picking up his first triple of the season. Hit it just right. Perfect. That ball was stayed in the air, give him plenty of time as fast as he is to get around the bases. That ball just, he talked it fair. 328 down the left field line. Mondesi might have had a chance at third base, but he went ahead and took the chance to get him at home. But there's 2 outs. Birch can put it into this here with some good pitching against Bobby Wilson.
Strike 1. Back up the middle, and that cuts the lead to 1.
Bobby Wilson, he's waiting for something up in the zone, and he waited for it, and it's just right center cut breaking ball.
So the overturned call that went against the Royals has resulted in 2 runs. Kepler, who would have been the last out of the 2nd inning, has overturned that call and reached on the infield hit. Next 2 batters tripled and singled. 3-2. Mauer takes a strike. It's a 1-1 count. By the way, we're playing with 3 umpires now because we understand Lance Barksdale left the game. Apparently his wife went into labor, so our thoughts are with Lance Barksdale family.
All the best to him. Get back inside, especially on Mauer. Mauer hasn't hit a ball down the right field line fair all year. Matter of fact, he won't pull him foul either. He's a middle opposite field guy. So you want to pound him in. Now he has a good inside out swing. Sometimes you can have some success on him middle away, but he's looking that way. Just like we said. And that was an inside pitch. He's going to fight stuff off like that, keep the line moving.
4 straight hits off of Birch Smith.
There you go. 28th hit to left field. He's got 12 to right, but he hasn't pulled one down the right field corner.
Rosario struck out in the 1st, and he's been going through a difficult time. Almost seems like he was pressing, trying to get to the All-Star game, get that tally in. Only 8 hits in his last 43 times up since this month started. Since July 1st. .190. He's a very good hitter, strong hands, quick wrists. Opposite field, but Gordo had him played that way. The ball winds up foul. Rosario down in the count 0-2. Birch Smith has some options here. He'll go mainly fastball curve to a right-handed batter, but to a left-hander who might throw that changeup. Barely see Alex on the screen. He's pulled way over playing Rosario hit it to left, a lot of room in right center field.
Yeah, Rosario has been swinging at everything but the kitchen sink. We talked about the streak he's in, and not a good one. He's trying to swing his way out, but sometimes you're better off taking your way out, being patient.
Duda will take care of it, but 2 runs come across on 4 hits by Minnesota. They've cut the Royal lead to 1. Showstopper. Well, the rumor mill has not stopped Manny Machado. 2 home runs that tied the game last night, Baltimore and New York.
Yep, you know, when you're have a talent like that, Fizz, with your bat, and you can play the left side of the infield, shortstop, third base, it just don't matter.
And I was reading a report that Boston has been in contact with Baltimore about Manny Machado, and I would imagine they would demand Devers, the young third baseman, but who isn't in on Manny Machado, who hasn't had discussions? Seems like he's been rumored to be going to the Yankees, to the Brewers, to the Dodgers, to the Arizona Diamondbacks, to the Red Sox.
He's got a talent, man. We knew it. Baltimore knew it.
Moose reached on the error, critical error by shortstop Polanco, which could have been an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play. Instead, the inning continued, and Perez gave the Royals the early advantage. And Mike knocks it foul.
Moose, he'll pull the ball. They know that. Last year he pulled 34 home runs out of his 38. And that was the most pulled homers in baseball. So if he gets his pitch middle in and Lynn misses in, he'll get him.
Lynn has walked 1, and I told you at the start of the game that he averages 5.4 walks per 9 innings, second highest in the major leagues. The Cubs' Tyler Chatwood. 3-2. Moose with 17 home runs this year. He's driven in a team best 56.
Nice short porch.
That ball is well struck. deep to right, and the Royals in front 4-2 on a home run by Mike Moustakas, number 18 this year.
That's right, another pulled homer. I can see it coming. I just could feel it for the Moose. Oh man, he's not going to miss in there. And he jumped all over it for his 18th. Let's check out this. This ball, it left in a hurry. 109 exit velo. He's got his little finger pointing, saying, all right. That's what I'm talking about. Good stroke. Short, compact, to the point. I don't know who's...
Somebody lost something. They threw up their hat in the air, and the ball just took it and took off. Here's Salvi again.
Out of the 2 home runs hit by Salvi and Moose today, I don't know who's had the higher launch angle. They both were similar.
Well, Moose, when he hits them, oh my goodness, 119 balls this year have been hit at 95+ miles an hour. There's a good breaking ball in there. Royals have not had 2 home runs in a game since May 30th, and that was against Minnesota. Now they've done it in 2 straight games. They had Mondesi and Gordon go deep last night. This time Perez strikes out and asked plate umpire Ted Barrett, was that a strike I swung at?
All right, let's show you the Salvador Perez StatCast. Okay, that was 19 degrees. That ball was very, I mean, that was, didn't have very much elevation at all. So that was 19, and I wonder what Moose's was. We'll let you know.
Yeah, they've got that higher wall in right field here at Target Field. Yeah. Short wall in left.
But Salvi had to hit his further, and we know, but that's still, both of them were right. And Salvi's was 22, so I was off by a couple. Excuse me, Moustakas's. Moose's was 22.
Disappointed.
Yeah. 19.
I'm not going to hold it against you the rest of the day.
Thank you. Launch angle for Salvi was 19, and Moose's was 22. Those were line shots. Goldberg's laundry's done.
It's a warm afternoon. The wind is blowing. It should be done. Yep. It's been on that line for 4 hours. Good to crack one down that line. Home run distance. First time up, but foul. And wound up striking out. And he will walk with 1 out. So second walk for Lance Lynn. Both pitchers throwing a lot of pitches early in this game. Lynn now at 60.
All right, now let's show you Moose's StatCast. We showed you Salvi's. Watch Moose's. It left at a similar velocity, almost 110. And if it wasn't for those fans there, that would have ripped off some seats. Now look at that nice step. Head position is stayed straight. I like that. Freeze that. Look at that line right there. Good little lip bend in the back leg. Good extension. Kidding me? Guy that pulls all those home runs like that, he's valuable to not only this team, but possibly another one. We'll see what happens.
And perhaps Bobby Wilson saw something in Lynn's delivery, because after walking Duda, he's now throwing a wild pitch to Alex Gordon. Not wild back to the screen, but one not where Bobby wanted it located.
Well, Wilson knows that if Lynn makes another mistake to Gordo, who launched one last night, he can do the same thing.
And Gordon has hit him well. 9 for 16 now in his career. And pops that one up, though. Escobar will make the play for out number 2.
The Royals and Price Chopper are excited to announce the return of the Grand Slam 4-pack. Perfect for your family. This ticket package includes 4 seats in the View Reserve section, plus 4 Royals caps, all for just $44. Head to your local Price Chopper to purchase this exclusive deal. Good for most Sunday through Thursday home games. See ya at Price Chopper.
Escobar has hit in his last 6 games, struck out his first time up. second baseman Dozier is cheating towards second base with Alcides, and with the first baseman Morrison holding the runner. A lot of room towards right field, and Kepler playing deeper than most right fielders against Escobar. Well, he stayed up with Escobar, and I think Escobar mad at himself for swinging at that pitch. It was not even close to being a strike. Tried to tomahawk it. .67 pitches and not yet through 3 innings.
Royals offense is being a little selective. Feels like what we wanted. Be patient. Now, doesn't necessarily mean get a walk, but they're being more selective.
And that one is rolled to Morrison. That will be the final out. But the Royals get a run as Mike Moustakas goes deep for the 18th time this year.
Oh, that ball was tattered and battered.
So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Ford, going further so you can. It's the Mississippi River that splits the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. Beautiful to take a walk down there and see the locks, where there are raise and lower ships that are transporting goods from north to south. Birch Smith, his third inning of work, he has thrown 48 pitches in just 2 innings. Let's see if he can get a quick 1-2-3 frame and some early count outs. Dozier the batter, and he swings at the first pitch and yanks it foul.
I'm sure that Cal Eldred would be happy to see Birch Smith get a nice little 10-pitch inning here, maybe 15-pitch.
Bunt, and it's a dandy.
And he picked a perfect pitch, a breaking ball. You just don't see that all that often, but that's a good play with nobody out to get on base, get any inning started. See, changeup actually, that's even better. Changeups are miles per hour off, and it was coming in on it, but he did a good job of keeping the barrel above the hands. That's the whole key to get a bunt down. There's Cal. Cal's keeping count. He's keeping count on breaking pitches. How many pitches?
He's a little disappointed, obviously, that he lost another starter. Ian Kennedy going back in the DL. He had an MRI today on his side, and so it'll be some time before Ian is back.
Opens up opportunities. That's what it does. That's why Bert Smith is in there today. Spot opened up.
Nice play. Duda. They've got him in a rundown. Lucas tags him out. Well executed.
Well, when we showed our Royals defense today, sponsored by Ford, I talked about Duda. Duda, he's in his 30th start this year. 29 of them, he hadn't made an error. And what's impressed me most, not the fact that he can turn on a fastball, is his footwork and his agility around the base. He's a good player. He's not a very nice player. Solid, you can count on him.
Yeah, he was ranked in the offseason the last 3 or 4 years. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4. The 8th best defender at first base in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And you really respect him more when you see Lucas play every single day. Like you said, the footwork around the bag and the way he picks easily, smoothly, those balls in the dirt.
Yeah, but you can't beat that demeanor he has for a ball player. That's what you want. You want an even keel, very nice personality, but he's even keel, doesn't get too excited, doesn't get too down. He understands the business. And when you understand the business, you're cordial to those who work the business to try to promote you. And that's smart. Let me show you some action here from Duda. Watch his footwork here, okay? He's going to have to turn. He's going to go counterclockwise, step on the base, right foot down, right over the top to Escobar. Now he's going to close in, and he has the agility to be able to get the second baseman out. Tried to turn in the line.
Logan Morrison now with a 2-2 count.
Eye black, you see Logan Morrison opening his eyes wide as he can. Sometimes in the day game, the glare bounces off the batter's eye. Here's a nice hitter's batter's eye. Very dark, so you can pick up the ball. But some play better at nighttime than daytime. See that? That's nice. That's called, that's like a big movie projector. That thing's nice. You pick out a white ball in the backdrop of that a lot easier than they did in the old days when they didn't have that. I remember the late Red Shandies, who just passed last month, used to tell me about how they would sit in Wrigley Field in t-shirts in the batter's eye, and you couldn't see the ball. Good pitch there. Nice changeup.
Mobile hats off for heroes. How about Wade Davis and wife Caitlin, supporters of the Wounded Warrior Project and finalists for the Bob Feller Act of Valor Award.
Waiter, check, please.
He's an awesome guy.
Fantastic.
James Shields used to call him the silent assassin. And, you know, he was so quiet about his way, but a lot of times he would reach out to charities and help others in such a quiet way. And then you find out about it a month later and you go, wait, I didn't know you were doing that.
Love
no
it.
big deal.
Love him. And that ring that we're wearing, courtesy of the Royals, he helped get.
Game 5, World Series in New York. Wade made that final pitch, got the strikeout.
And with Hochevar as the winning pitcher.
Yep. Here is Mondesi, who's robbed of an infield hit and a fine play by Brian Dozier to get the second out of the second inning. And there's a shot up the middle, knocked down by Dozier, but that's all he can do as Mondesi has himself an infield hit.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd have thrown him out had he gloved it, but there's another hard hit ball. Let's check out him from both sides of the plate. Okay, the right side of the plate is on your left, the left side on your right. And here it is. Now we're going to check them out here. They're both leveraged in front side, but different follow throughs. You see the right side? Right side, he has a top hand follow through. The home run yesterday, both hands stay on the bat. We'll show it to you again. Both hands on it, control the swing. Right-handed, top hand takeoff, good extension. Either way, it can be done. Fantastic. Thank you, Sam Abramson, for that hard work you did there.
Now the Royals might be running Mondesi. Butera has executed a couple of good hit and runs this year. So the Royals have some options. Mondesi does not go, and the pitch is low.
Let's kind of break that down a little bit more, Fizz, in the second swing. Now, you can see this here. That's the base hit he just got. Okay, I'm going to just ask you to freeze it right there. Okay, look at the head positions there, but he's out in front. Okay, he's got excellent balance. He's just has a lot going for himself.
Mondesi goes, and they did have the hit and run on with Butera knocking it foul off to the right side. But it wasn't like Mondesi got a hit and run jump. It was like he was going for the steal. He had a really good break. Lynn's move home.
Well, regardless of the outs, always one out's the best way, because if one out, then you get the runner to third base. That's the idea. You can score with less than 2 in a lot of ways. And if there's nobody out and the runner gets thrown out on a miss, then it takes away a potential big inning. So really, one out's the ideal time to put a hit and run on. But I like them moving no matter what. It's always good to move the runners. The defense shifts, they move around while the runner's in motion, more holes to hit it in. But it's important to have the right kind of guys to do that.
And now you have a good running count.
That's right. Lynn's pretty good in holding the running game. Does a good job. Well, base runner just 7 for 18 in steals the last couple of years. But Mondesi, if he can get a good jump, go. Sometimes you see the numbers, but you trust your eyeballs. If you can get a good jump, take it.
He goes. Swing and the miss at a ball in the dirt, and Mondesi's going to be out. It was a hit and run. Butera unable to make contact.
Bobby Wilson got a nice pitch to work on and had a good quick release. Coming in, throwing out 12% of runners. He threw it on the first base side of the bag, and that's what allowed him to get the tag on it. Take a chance.
And then Drew lines one sharply to left field that will be caught by Rosario. 2 out. Indians saw their 5-game win streak end last night. The Royals' 9-4 win. They have played much better at home this year than on the road. 25-21 on Minnesota at home this year, and only 15-28 on the road, and a lot of it has to do with their pitching. Their ERA at Target Field is a full run lower at home than on the road. And a lot was expected from Minnesota this year. They were expected to challenge Cleveland, and they still are 8.5 games back because the Indians have been unable to pull away. And like we talked about, how a lot of it has to do with their bullpen.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out a couple of pieces back there, especially if they want to go deep in postseason. But if you're within 10 games at this particular point in the All-Star break, you got to tell yourself we still got a chance. A lot can happen. So I'll never forget in 1995 playing for the Angels, and we had a 12-game lead in August, late August, and we lost all of it to the Seattle Mariners. Only to force a playoff game, an play-in game. Randy Johnson won it.
Escobar gets Merrifield by a step. We head to the bottom of the 4th. That's the Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery joined us right after this. Rex Hudler. We're now joined by Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. Your thoughts on Bert Smith early?
Well, mostly positive. I really like what I've seen from him. On my notes, I say, hey, he's pitched inside. He's used all of his pitches. He's got ahead frequently. He's stayed composed. He, however, has not pitched efficiently. He's thrown a lot of pitches, 59 pitches through 3 innings.
And here we are. And Jeff, what are the adjustments you'd like to see a young pitcher make, particularly after losing 2.5 years with that elbow injury?
I think the biggest thing, when he came up and pitched out of the bullpen, he learned that his stuff plays in the big leagues. He knows that he's healthy. He knows he's able to pitch at this level. Now it's just a matter of building. It's a matter of growing, learning how to use those pitches, how to mix into pitches when you need to mix in pitches. And I think he's done a nice job of that so far.
Here we go to the bottom of the 4th.
Money, I like the first inning especially. He pitched around some of their good hitters. He threw 40% breaking balls, and he was throwing them for strikes, getting ahead of hitters.
And that's the biggest difference I've seen from Bert Smith. We know coming in this game he had that scoreless streak, I think 10 straight innings of scoreless baseball. And the biggest difference in that stretch that I saw from Bert Smith was he's attacking. Whereas early in the season, maybe a little, afraid of contact.
Tentative.
Yeah, a little tentative. Wasn't pitching to contact nearly enough. Yeah, and when you're out there getting ahead, I talked with Birch the first day in here in Minnesota and talked to him the difference between what he's done as of late compared to what he was early. He said, I've just been getting ahead better. Now today, throwing first pitch strikes very effectively, and that's a huge key. 13 out of 15 first pitch strikes, that'll play out anywhere.
Believe it.
Royals are getting their bullpen ready because Ned Yost told us he would have Birch throw between 60 and 70 pitches through 50 in that 4-inning outing against the Boston Red Sox on July 6th. He was able to strike out Jorge Polanco for his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. Now Max Kepler. Strike in there. And Monty, let's say he is okay at 64 pitches. He knows he's fatigued. How do you compete and get through that?
Just got to stay locked in, focus, concentrate, just like every other pitch you make. But sometimes when you get a little tired, it's more important to really concentrate on the mechanics. Oftentimes we hear the term repeat that delivery. You want to be able to repeat that delivery time after time after time. When you get a little tired, it's a little more difficult. That means a little more focus, a little more concentration.
He has been working quickly, not taking that much time in between pitches, and he comes way inside to Kepler, almost hit him.
I love how he's pitching inside.
He's done a great job of pitching inside. That's a huge difference maker. When you have the ability to throw mid-90s fastball, you can beat guys inside, not just get them out, you can beat them badly.
Falling behind a power hitter and Kepler.
You know, that was one of the keys to our open for him to succeed. 5% line drive rate on inside fastball, second lowest among qualified relief pitchers. He's a starter now, but still that inside heater is going to play.
Well, when you are pitching inside, a lot of guys are concerned because you make a mistake inside, oftentimes it drifts back to the middle part of the plate. You get hurt pretty badly on it. But when you're a young pitcher, proving to yourself that you can make outs, get outs, beat guys inside, it makes you such a better pitcher. I'll use Corey Kluber as an example. He has such great ability to pitch at both sides of the plate. That's what makes him a Cy Young guy.
Okay, watch this last pitch, Mike. Watch this. He got in there. He beat him in there.
Yeah, when you throw that pitch, there's nothing they can do except foul it off.
Almost broke his bat.
And that is his first walk of the ball game. He did not walk the man his last 4 innings. And here is the University of Kansas Health System injury report. Ian Kennedy, tightness in his side, and an MRI earlier today around 10:30. Placed on the disabled list today. That may be some time because it has been causing him some pain in the month of June.
Well, and I think the other thing, when you have an injury, we saw that last year with Ian Kennedy, make sure you're 100% before you try to come back, because I think that really set him back last year when he tried to come back from that, I think it's a hamstring injury, wasn't able to throw his changeup effectively, and you have to be 100% to pitch at this level. I take it back. You're not 100% hardly ever after spring training, but you cannot be injured and pitch at this level. So,
big difference.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know you've been asked this probably countless times, Monty. Why so many oblique injuries by both offensive players and pitchers now?
Guys are too strong. Back when Hud and I played, we didn't have muscle. You can't pull fat, right, Hud?
Got that right, Monty. Plus the fact that the kids get to the ballpark at 12 o'clock every day, and they hit consistently. They hit in the cages. We used to show up at 3:30, 4 o'clock, take a round in the cage and go out and play, and then wear them out.
What was your average, Hud?
My average? 262 career, Fizz. That's off the bench. What was yours?
It was 0-0-0.
That's what I thought.
Fizz, you and I are tied.
Back up the middle, a base hit. So runners on first and second as Cave comes through for the second time with a triple and now a single.
Well,
take a look at this last pitch. He almost telegraphed that breaking ball. I can see it coming out of his hand. He almost told the batter, here comes a breaking ball. You saw his arm speed slow down. You saw the ball hang in the middle part of the plate as a result of base hit.
and you just talked about it. I think that's fatigue.
Exactly. That's what happens. You get to this pitch. He's thrown 71 pitches, has not thrown this many pitches for a long time. So time to get him out of there. He's done a nice job.
I thought it was good overall, Monty, by him.
Yeah, Ned said 60 to 70. He's thrown 71. We'll be right back. still have a 4-2 lead, but Minnesota has runners on first and third, and here comes the kid, Glenn Sparkman. He has had one outing with the Royals. His debut went an inning and 2/3. That was against Boston. Did allow 3 runs in an inning and 2/3, but Monty looked sharp early in that outing against Boston.
Yeah, and this is a great opportunity. I'll call it a redeemer, a chance to get back out there and do something special for his ball club. You want to do everything you can. Big situation here. This is a game that's very important for the Royals, to me. Maintain the momentum they established last night.
Kepler at third base. Cave, good speed at first. Batter is Bobby Wilson. The first pitch is low. Sparkman starts Wilson off with a breaking ball. Bobby had a key single when the Twins had 4 straight hits. One by Kepler, one by Cave, one by Wilson, one by Mauer. And they scored 2 times. Didn't mean to do it, but fouled it off. Maybe if Glenn can keep it down, he can get 2 outs on 1 pitch and get back to that dugout. Royals pen has induced 39 double plays this year. That is most in the American League. Hit sharply to left, and Wilson is 2 for 2. Gordon firing it in, and they will hold Cave at third base as Wilson drives in his 13th run this year on a double.
Bobby Wilson, he's not messing around. He's picking on some breaking balls tonight. Heater right down the middle. Mo lottery replay shows you Wilson, he's on it.
Yeah, real big situation here. You got a very experienced hitter at the plate, understands what to do with an open base. Got to be smart out there.
Right. You're talking about a guy, Monty, that's hitting .405 coming into this game with a runner in scoring position. Not 1, but 2 runners in scoring position. I'd be real careful with him.
Got to be very careful. Nothing really too good to hit.
I mean, there's 1 out. Heck, I'm almost wanting to put him on, just walk him. And I'm with you. This is a big game for the Royals. It's nice to get the series before they head on to Chicago.
Yeah, at some point this team's got to get that momentum and carry it for an extended period. We saw it a little bit in the month of May, but other than that, it's been somewhat non-existent. I forget about the record, but you've got to grow as a team, and this is part of it.
They're looking for the first back-to-back win since May 29th and 30th when they hosted the Twins at Kauffman. Strike.
I mean, you're trying to get him to chase here, but definitely don't make any mistakes now. When you're ahead in the count like this, 1 and 2, don't give him anything out over the middle.
We saw that fastball 95 down and away on the black with movement. You can throw that one again, maybe even get a chase and roll over it.
But Mauer swings and misses and strikes out a big K for Sparkman here with runners in second and third, and the Royals leading by just 1.
This is huge. I didn't think they'd get that on him, but he pulled the string, put a little wrinkle on it, and that's got him off to balance.
And it wasn't great location on that pitch, but the pitch before set it up very nicely. Had a lot he could do after throwing the fastball down and away.
They will intentionally walk Eddie Rosario. They want the righty-righty matchup with Brian Dozier, and that's perhaps why they didn't put Joe Mauer on. And back-to-back lefties in Mauer and Rosario.
Well, you know, Sparkman has a low 3/4 delivery a little bit, so it's going to be a little bit more effective and deceptive to a right-handed batter. But that fastball, slider, curve, changeup mix, hopefully will get the job and get him out of this inning. Because you definitely need a pin to win.
Strike one. Talked to Glenn the other day. Monty said he throws fastball, then slider, curve, change, but it seems like he's got a little cut to his fastball.
Yeah, that slider has a cut action to it. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it. It's more of a lateral pitch. But he's got a live arm. He's got good life. And you can throw 95, 96 with good life on that fastball. You can do a lot. You don't have to be perfect with it. You don't have to pitch on the corners all the time. As long as you can stay down in the strike zone, that ball plays anywhere.
Well, he has Dozier down 0-2, and Brian does strike out a lot, 78 times this year, and is usually right around 150 for a season.
Got him set up very nicely for a slider off the plate, down and away. Let's see if he goes with that.
Looks like they're going to stay inside. They went with the fastball at 96 miles an hour inside. So Sparkman still has those options you're talking about.
Absolutely. I think in this situation, maybe the biggest pitch of the game coming up, you do not want to throw a strike.
Perfect pitch.
I don't think he was trying to throw it there.
Well, I hope
But
he
it
did.
had
I
a
hope he
purpose
was.
to it.
Are you kidding?
It was 86 miles an hour. It might have been that slider you're talking about.
Bring it back, Monty. Bring that pitch back.
But that pitch sometimes can be so bad it's good, and that was the case there. It was so bad it could be good.
Well, you know what? When you give it a little chin music, there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of the game. Backs the hitter off. Now he's set up for that pitch away.
Absolutely.
I mean, away. No, make it even out near the plate.
The key is to execute the pitch and try to. You don't want to try to make it break. You want to let it break. When you try to make it break, exactly what we just saw in the previous pitch happens. It backs up, and that one backed up quite a bit.
Left it up too much. Just below the belt.
Amazing too, Monty, how sometimes you throw a pitch right down the middle and he rolls over, little 6-3 out. You can get away with a pitch in there. You just hope that the hitter gets himself out.
Little tapper. Oh my. And the ball goes down the right field line. A bad mistake by Sparkman, who should have just held on to that baseball.
Yeah, you know what? A young pitcher like that, he wants the out. He believes he can get it. Sometimes you forget that the guy who hit it has good running speed. The way it was hit, that's a pocket ball all the way. And even if he would have been inaccurate with his throw, he wouldn't have gotten him out. Only one run would have scored. We've got plenty of time left, though. They can jump back in it, Monty. They'll have to get some offense today.
Yeah, instinctively on that play, you want to get an out. You really want to get an out. All the play is to your back if you're the pitcher going to the third base line. Probably the right play was to put it in his pocket, but if you're going to throw it, you got to make sure you throw a strike.
That's right.
Now Sparkman to face Escobar.
Now this is
Lance Lynn has a lead for the first time
this
afternoon.
Put him on. This guy he's dangerous with runners in scoring position as well.
They want Morrison, who has more holes in his swing than Escobar, but also more power. Logan, we told you, hit 38 home runs last year. He has 1 grand slam in his career. He has struck out twice today. But that was facing Birch Smith. Ball 1. Bounced that one in the dirt. Looked like Sparkman may have lost his balance when he planted that left foot.
Butera, nice job of keeping that ball in front of him. That saved a run.
Hit well. Gordon, though, has it played. And that is the final out. But a big inning for Minnesota. They score 3 times and take the 5-4 lead over KC. As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in today's game. So Lance Lynn now has a 1-run lead. Royals will have a hitters 2, 3, and 4 coming up, so some power in this inning with Bonifacio, Moustakas, and Perez. And Moose and Perez have both gone deep today.
Gonna need some more firepower like last night's game. They can do it. Starting to heat up. Monty, we were talking earlier about day games versus night games, and well, you were a bullpen closer, and I mean, were you more effective at night or day, or did it matter to you?
Didn't matter. I liked day games when they were over.
Exactly. So you had the evening off somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think how tough it would be to play in Wrigley almost every day. A lot of fun at night, but man.
Before they got lights, I believe it was '97 when they got lights the first time. I'm not exactly sure when that was, but I remember playing in the National League about that time, and there was a big uproar about putting lights in Wrigley. But you were assured of a day game every day there back for a long time.
In the meantime, Lance Lynn has a very high ERA in the day games. He has had 5 day starts this year and has an ERA over 8. Swing and a miss from Bonifacio, who's 1 for 2. Fouled off. Don't go anywhere because Minnesota's bullpen has really struggled this year. They have the 2nd most blown saves in baseball with 17. A lot of time left in this one.
You mean they're highly flammable?
Yep.
Important work out that pitch count against Lynn here. He's got 87 so far. Try to get him out of there as soon as you can.
I think they've done a pretty good job being patient with the offense milking his pitch count. That was our key to beat him today, was to be selective.
And he hasn't had the walks that oftentimes he has in a game, but he's a guy that a lot of foul balls. I've seen a lot of foul balls early in the game.
It's walk 2. Outside corner, perfectly located at 94 miles an hour. And Bonifacio is out number 1. Pepsi, the fan favorite for every generation, celebrating 50 years of Royals baseball. Great to see Royals fans here in the Twin Cities. Moose has been on twice. Both times didn't stay long. Scored after Salvador Perez hit the home run and then hit his own, a solo shot into the right field seats back in inning number 3.
Moustakas wasted no time at all. Kind of a nice fastball. That ball was out in the flash, Hud.
Oh, in a heartbeat. 1,001, 1,002, and if there weren't fans there, would have ripped a row of seats out, believe it.
And that's why he's pitching Moose away. He's followed behind 3 balls and no strikes. Mike has now taken Lynn deep 3 times in their meetings in the past, and they've only met 15 times. 3 home runs. Ooh, good swing there. Royals giving him the green light. Why not? Power right now. Foul. He does like that low ball. I mean, we've seen him take them right off of the knees and just blast it over the right field wall. Nice easy swing.
Seems to happen a lot with lefties. They love it down and in.
You got it. Way to go. You are a star.
He hustled after it.
So Lynn fighting back in the count, run it full. Back our way. Oh, a fan in front of us went for the baseball, tipped it in his hands, and then it went right off the top of his head and bounced to a fan in front of him.
The dad knocked the kid right over in front of us. The things people do for a baseball. All right, 8th pitch coming here. He's got a good AB going. He's just nearly on him. He's already tracked him once. We showed it to you. See if he can get him again.
Mike golfs this one to right. That was low and outside. Kepler will make the catch. But another guy who liked the ball down from the right side was Bo Jackson. How about this sinker he takes from Rick Russell?
Wow, that was a no-doubter too, Hud.
Can you believe that? 29 years ago today? Oh, man, that seemed like that was last week. Look at Bo Jackson and Big Daddy Rick Russell.
The All-Star game, July 11th, 1989. So Salvi will be there again for the 6th straight time.
Today's paper Molitor was raving about Salvador Perez, talking about, you know, gosh, he catches a lot. It feels like he's been around forever. How old is he? 28 years old. Molly was saying. He said he's caught at least 115 games in each of the past 5 full seasons, which leads the American League. He's built to last, Molly said. That frame, that size, He influences how I manage games. Whenever you can get the opposing manager to say those things about you, that's good. You're effective. You're affecting his pin. The pin he has in his hand. What you going to do?
Loves target field. Perhaps it's that hitting background you're talking about earlier, Hud. He really sees the ball well coming out of a pitcher's hand. And he knocks this one to the left side. Polanco in the dirt, but scooped nicely by Morrison in the 1-2-3 fifth inning. Lynn, over 100 pitches. Monty, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Get us a win, Monty. Come on.
Dodge. Join the Brotherhood of Muscle at the Dodge Summer Clearance Event and get a great deal. It's a great look, Hud, because right off to the left side there, they have the locks where they raise and lower the ship coming down the Mississippi River. In the old days, they used to bring all the lumber down. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And they've got some museums there that you can go to and check out the Mississippi River history.
Is that where you were on your off day yesterday? You laid your mat down there and did some yoga on the side of the river?
Warrior 1, Warrior 3,
Okay.
Warrior 7.
That's what I thought.
There's a base hit to center field off of Sparkman. And Polanco is on for the first time. Last night, Adalberto Mondesi was playing shortstop. This afternoon, he is playing second base. Our sprint trivia question was, prior to Mondesi, name the last 5 shortstops 22 or younger with a 4 RBI game. How about Correa, Lindor? Boy, we got some good ones right now. We could guess.
Yeah, I'm sure. Jimmy Rollins has always been a wild card for a shortstop too.
Yeah, and but so many good ones, young ones like Bogarts came up at the age of 20.
Was Jeter in that age?
Yeah, but I'm thinking more. It said more recent ones.
Okay.
Jeter started back in, I believe, in '96. But it's been unbelievable how many good young shortstops. And here's a guy who at the age of 20 came up and made his major league debut in the World Series. No player had ever done that before.
Pretty impressive. Do you remember the at bat? Did he walk?
No, he struck out.
Okay. Yeah, I remember him coming up. I don't remember exactly what happened.
I'm going to go with Correa. Is that okay with you?
Oh, yeah.
Carlos Correa. We got one. What do you think about Francisco Lindor?
Yeah, go with him. Stay hot.
Okay, we'll go with Lindor. What about Xander Bogaerts of Boston? Should we go with him? And this is conversation that you and I are having.
Yes. Stay hot.
Ball struck well, but foul. So we're going to go with Xander Bogaerts?
Yep.
Okay, that's 3.
Stay hot, Fizz.
How many do we need?
One more.
2 more.
2 more.
Machado, of course, came up as a third baseman, just moved to short this year after they lost J.J. Hardy, who had been that shortstop for so many years with Baltimore. What about Addison Russell?
That's a good call.
Chicago Cubs.
I like it. It's a good call. Fizz, you have been all over it today.
Well, I've just been guessing. I'm just thinking of terrific. I mean, this is a day and age of great young shortstops. Runner goes, pitch is swung on, hit to left, Gordon chasing.
Easy.
And it's a foul ball.
Yeah, that was going to be a tester.
And because there's no third base umpire now, Ted Barrett has to make that call, and he had to make it out from behind home plate.
Did you see him hustle out there?
Yes, I did. That's
down the line. Okay, this is getting too close to the wall for comfort there, but Alex pulled out the parachute, did slid, crashed in there. Fortunately, those walls are all padded, so his knees saved a bruise.
Boy, he was out there to help his pitcher.
Gotta love the professionalism you see from umpires. Fizz, they take a lot of abuse, but I'm going to tell you what, this crew here and several others are all on top of their game. They study, they do their tape, they watch their, and they know where they're supposed to be on each play.
Put it on again, and the ball is struck to center field, and Whit Merrifield will make the catch. And back to first base goes Polanco. Shall we go with Addison Russell?
Yeah, why not? We got 3 strikes to work with.
Addison Russell. Hey, we got 4.
Kadoki.
Mondesi, of course, got his burst, and he's just 22. He'll turn 23 at the end of this month.
Well, did we get them all then? We include
one more. It was like along with Mondesi. Here's a swing and a miss. Jake Cave has had a good game. He has tripled, he has singled, he scored 2 runs, driven in 1.
Look at that, was funny. There's no third base umpire, so Butera pointed to Moose and said, "Did he go, Moose?" And Moose stuck out his hand and said, "Yeah, he did." he gave him the ring up sign.
Gotta have fun in this game.
Yeah, no, they're I love that. And you know, when you're having fun playing baseball, there's nothing better. I mean, this is your childhood dream, and you're out there in the big leagues at this level. I mean, I enjoyed it in the minor leagues, except on the 1st and the 15th. But man, up here at this level, it don't get much better.
On his hands, fouled off.
The 1st and the 15th is payday.
Yep.
There's no money in the minors. That first check I got in 1978, $500 a month before taxes, Fizz. I was like, wow. No wonder I need 3 roommates.
And you were grateful.
I was grateful. But 6 years in A-ball broke me.
How old is Trey Turner? He had 7 RBIs the other day.
Still thinking about that question. We're going to get it. We got 3 strikes to work with.
We'll give you the question again to our fans. Now, there's Gene Segura, who I'm interested in. When he was with Milwaukee, he had that great breakout first year. In the last 5 shortstops, 22 or younger with a 4 RBI game. Mondesi had one last night. We guessed Correa correctly. Lindor, Bogarts, and Addison Russell. Outside.
Turner's, he's got to be older than 22.
Yeah, but this is in his first year. Ground ball second base. Mondesi gets it to Escobar quickly. They'll have no chance to get the speedy Cave at first base, but they do get the lead man in a play that goes 4-6.
Students, join us at the K every Wednesday for a new low price of just $5 with your student ID. Plus, enjoy a happy hour special at the Boulevard Grill concession stand as you listen to live local music on the Outfield Experience stage before the game. Come check out our next local band, Run With It, on Wednesday, July 25th. Visit Royals.com/student night for the full list of bands and for tickets. You won't want to miss it. Students, $5 to come to the beautiful K.
Bobby Wilson has had a terrific game with a single and a double, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. Here's some options for us, Hud. Corey Seager, Trey Turner, Gene Segura.
Seager.
Fouled off. So Hud guesses Corey Seager.
Yep, that's an official guess.
We got it.
Ding,
Way
ding,
to go,
ding, ding, ding,
Hud.
ding.
Hud, bud.
No. We both worked on them. Just because you spewed all the winners out didn't mean that I wouldn't think of those names either.
You know what? I'm just amazed at the number of great young shortstops, and this young man has a great opportunity to be one.
He does.
It's almost like when you watch him in spring training, and he's in batting practice, and even sometimes in some of the minor league games, Mondesi has the ability, Hud, to slow the game down. But when he's come up to the big league level, sometimes he gets out and rushes.
That's just maturity. This comes with time. Game, it happens to most everybody that way.
And Sparkman gets the strikeout of Bobby Wilson, and we head to the 6th inning. Power will lead off with Lucas Duda when we come back. Unforgettable show from the nation's capital. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game Tuesday, only on Fox, or stream it live on the Fox Sports app. Salvador Perez will be there. It's our Sonic Slam inning. Priscilla Stone from Gladstone Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Priscilla, you get yourself $4,400. And if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park in this inning, Priscilla will win $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals.
Priscilla, I like your chances today.
First pitch breaking ball outside to Duda, who has struck out and walked this afternoon. 12 of his last 20 hits have been extra base hits.
Especially with Lynn coming up on 103 pitches, fatiguing a little bit. He's going to leave a mistake right here. Oh man, that was the one.
It was up.
That was the one. Duda turns those out of the ballpark in a heartbeat. He just missed it.
Fastball belt high. They do have a right-hander in the bullpen warming up, and Ryan Presley, a veteran.
It's been a while since we've got some money on a swing.
Two balls, one strike. And we were talking about the All-Star game. We should congratulate a couple of All-Stars at the AAA Classic tonight. Omaha is off for the All-Star break, but they have Trevor Oaks and Frank Schwindel from the Storm Chasers who will be competing in that.
I wonder how many homers Frank's hit this year.
Well, they call him Frank the Tank.
I know.
And
we'll
boy,
check.
he was a slugging machine in spring training. He was really a joy to watch.
We'll check it out.
I think he had 14 last time I checked. That was a few days ago.
He's got 15, Fizz. Good count. Hit one since you last checked.
And Duda walks for the second time.
Where do you get hit?
Yeah, you're right. I'm not sure. That was on a 3-2 count. Either way, he's on base. They are going to call it a hit by pitch.
There's our Pepsi fans of the game. Royals fans right down there in the front row.
And that's a perfect dad road trip. Looked like dad and son getting in the car, heading up from KC. Maybe getting in some fishing in the land of lakes here in Minnesota.
Give me a little walleye, maybe.
Oh,
Alex, not only would a 2-run homer get your team the lead, but you would give Priscilla some good cake. I mean, the kind of cake you like, cash. Oh, I'm trying to talk him into it.
well, he has been challenging Alex inside with that fastball. That last one, still a lot of velocity at 110 pitches, 95 miles an hour.
Yep, he's a big horse. He's got size. There's no question about it. 6'5", just kind of size you want. 275.
Alex pops it up, foul. Wilson back, but that will find the seats.
Good. He's getting closer and closer. Alex is going to get him. Well, you know, Bert Blyleven, Hall of Famer, their color commentator for the Twins, was talking to me today about Lance Lynn, and he said that Lance Lynn had a jersey size that was a little bit too small because the buttons were kind of coming undone, and he made this suggestion in spring training, or after they signed Lynn. He didn't have much of a spring, to get a size bigger uniform top. Seeing that way they won't get on you when you go bad. They won't say, oh, he's big, he's got to lose weight. And it was, you know, bigger jersey.
I thought it had to do with mechanics.
No, bigger jersey makes you look thinner.
I know that.
But Bert was right.
That's why you wear all of your shirts untucked.
And you know, exercise too. I mean, exercise big.
I'm having fun with you.
Sure. No, but see, he looks leaner with a bigger jersey on. He took the advice from the Hall of Famer. Oh man, I'm telling
foul.
you, Alex is working it.
Well, he did change his health and nutrition regimen when he was with the St. Louis Cardinals. Adam Wainwright talked with him, and former Cardinal Chris Carpenter as well. And they discussed his off-season regimen and also his diet. And the Cardinals actually sent their health and nutritionist to set up a health food diet for him, get him ready for the next year. Outside and back-to-back walks to Duda and now Gordon. Will that be it for Lance Lynn?
Well, that was
looks like it. Here comes Paul.
That was his season high. He tied
114 pitches. So Molly will come on and bring on Ryan Presley. This is our Chevy call to the bullpen. Lynn mad at himself for walking the first two batters of the sixth.
H1240 AM and 97.5 are bringing Wichita's best fans to the K on the Raised Royal Fan Express on July 21st. For more information, go to royals.com/Fan Express.
Lance Lynn leads leading 5-4, but a hit batter, a walk. Royals are 2 on, nobody out. Ryan Presley, a veteran, 29 years of age, out of Dallas, Texas. Good sinking fastball. Where do you have to look for that pitch, Hud?
Well, it's going to be down, and Escobar in this situation right here will probably drop a bunt down. I don't know the signs, but it's the right situation for it. Duda's not the speediest, so you'd like to get him and Gordon into scoring position with less than 2. And when a pitcher fakes like that, usually tells the rest of the infield, did the batter square around? Hoping that he did to give away what he was going to do.
Escobar, though a veteran, did not.
Tells me he's not.
Ooh,
wow.
And he gets hit. And the Royals have loaded the bases. 2 hit batters in the 6th inning. And here comes Mondesi.
Way to take one for the team. That's right. He's got a hard fastball. Caught his elbow. Presley does. It's 90 to 95. Pretty good slider. And a big curveball.
So the Royals have him loaded here in inning number 6 for Mondesi, who has 12 hits in his last 12 games, including this one. 3 doubles, 2 home runs in that span.
They've got to turn this inning into some runs, no doubt. Strike
1. Presley is tied for 4th in the American League with 44 appearances. Last time out was July 6th against Baltimore. Gave up a run in 1 inning.
Priscilla Stone, wouldn't this be nice to you to cash that $4,400 in on a grand slam? How about that?
And turn it into 25,000.
Oh man, so add that 4,400 to the 25,000. It would be a big cha-ching right here. Come on, Mondi. No, he didn't.
He went. Oh man.
Presley's got some good stuff. He's a veteran. 6'3", 210, 29 years old. And he knows that Mondesi's a little anxious, so he buried the slider.
Gutierrez has hit the ball hard twice, singling sharply to center field and lining out to left. Fouled off, strike one. Royals went 5 for 9 with runners in scoring position last night, the best numbers this year in a 9-4 win. All of the runs today coming on home runs by Perez and Moustakas. Oh, 0-2.
You guys want to shorten up like he does, Drew? I trust him in this situation. He's got an inch that he's choked up on the bat. He's going to stay short, try to put it in play, hit the ball hard twice today. Like it. See, he's comfortable. Got a little wiggle in his bat. Getting some movement going is important.
Right-handers hitting Presley better than left-handers. Right-handers hitting 288, lefties 212.
Right idea. That swing was to right field.
Duda on third, Gordon second, Escobar first. In there, strike 3 called. Ooh, that looked high.
Bases loaded. You can't let the umpire call you out, man. You've got to be hacking. I don't care where it is. If it's borderline, let's see where this was. Well, you can't blame Drew on that one. It's like Teddy missed one. Ah, tough.
Now the Royals need a 2-out hit from Whit Merrifield, who's driven in 29 this year. Ball 1. Whit's been on once with a walk. .286 with runners in scoring position. Good swing on the fastball at 95.
That's the way to be waiting for. Too bad he missed it. Yeah.
He's never had a grand slam.
Nope. Priscilla's got to be on the edge of her couch right now. I'm on the edge of my seat for her.
Trying to bring some glad to Gladstone.
Oh man, that's the lottery. Lottery of baseball.
Presley hit the first batter when he came out of the bullpen, but back-to-back strikeouts of Mondesi and Butera. Now Witt down in the count, 1-2. Well,
Same place.
He was going to get that call before, and it was the exact same spot, only this time it is called high.
Oh well. It's okay,
Ted is
Ted.
an exceptional umpire.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're going to miss once in a while, but Drew has he's still shaking his head. I don't blame him. It was not a good pitch. Too bad.
Kepler. The Royals squander a bases loaded, no out situation in the sixth. Still trail by 1.
Joel Goldberg back at Target Field. Nice easy day for Brian Flynn, but a great trip so far. Yesterday, 4 shutout innings, and he got the win. 2 days ago, he had a chance to meet Paul Molitor. I was actually in the middle of talking to Molitor, and Flynn walked up and said, "Do you mind real quick if I ask Paul a question?" I said, "Of course." He had a Milwaukee Brewers Paul Molitor jersey that he wanted to get signed. And this wasn't just a random thing he's had forever. He actually, this is a testament to Dave Holtzman. He was watching our broadcast one night. They're allowed to watch us out in the bullpen. They're not allowed to have audio out there. So they actually play along with our trivia. They guess on the trivia, the guys in the bullpen. But he saw a stat that we had on Paul Molitor and how great his career was. And he said, "I am ordering a Brewers Molitor jersey, and I am bringing it to Minnesota to get it signed." Molitor said absolutely, and after Flynn walked away, Molitor said to me, "It is amazing that any of the young players now even know who I am, so it is always an honor when someone comes up and wants something sent over to be signed." Great stuff by Flynn, who also recently got a Biggio jersey signed, his next target. He's carrying with him a Jim Thome Indians jersey that he's going to see if Tome's in Chicago. He works for the White Sox now.
And even if Jim is not there, he'll probably drive to Chicago just so he could do it, sign it for Brian. He's such an exceptional young man.
That's
but
smart, man. I'm telling you what, the players that do that and to think about when their career is going to be over, they could show their kids. When some of them don't even have children yet, but they will someday. And the kids won't have known their dad played ball, but he's going to show them all those nice things he has. They'll be happy. ERA a little bit high for any. Oh, Mondesi almost got
just beyond Mondesi to right field. So Rosario is on for the second time. Eddie Romero, the Royals were able to pick him up from the Pittsburgh Pirates after he was released, and you always want to take a look at a left-hander who throws high velocity, and he's in the mid-90s. Posted a career best 3.5 ERA in 53 games for the Nationals last year.
Yep, he's got experience. He's been around.
Dozier, the batter, he's 2 for 2, dropping a bunt single, and may have had the biggest play of the game in the 4th when he had a swinging bunt down the third base line, and it scored a run, but Glenn Sparkman, who was pitching, should have just held onto the baseball. Instead, threw wildly past first base, and the go-ahead run scored.
Yeah, it's a tough moment in the game, but they've had a chance, and they might get another few chances before this one's over. And he's got a good mid-90s fastball, cuts the ball in on righties, curve and change.
Dozier 14 home runs this year. He's now driven in 40. And he smacks that one well. Upper deck. 7-4 Minnesota.
Great fastball hitter. Better locate it properly if you're going to try to get it in on him. Our Miller hold true moment. Fastball down the middle. Swung on, gone. Knew it immediately. Short, compact, we've seen it before. Big launch angle, second deck.
Royals trail by 3. Bottom of the 6th. Ball well struck to center field. Merrifield back. Deepest part of the yard. He'll be able to pull it down for the second out. Minnesota came into this series hot, and then they won game 1 3-1. Won 5 in a row.
Calling all Shockers fans, come out to the Cave Friday, July 20th for Wichita State night when the Royals host the Twins at 7:15. Purchase themed tickets to receive exclusive Royals cap featuring the Wichita State logo and colors. Presented by Fox Sports Kansas City and Rally House. Tickets available now at royals.com/themed tickets.
And it's really quality cap. I saw the Huskers cap last Saturday when I visited with a lot of Husker fans.
Yeah.
Last Saturday night. Beautiful gray cap. Red lining in this case with Wichita State. Black and gold.
Love it. Shocker.
Shocked the house.
Mm-hmm.
Two out, two in. Outside to Logan Morrison, who is 0 for 3. I was talking about hot teams. Boston, man, they've been hot. They've won 8 straight games to take a 3.5 game lead on the Yankees.
Good team. Well balanced.
And you know, as both of those teams battle for that American League East, because it's such an advantage to win your division where you don't have to play that wild card game.
Oh.
You know they're going to make some kind of deal.
That's amazing.
Before the deadline. Both of them.
I mean, that wild card is just too bad. One game, work all season, and then one game you get a chance to go home or go.
You know, we were talking the other day about that '93 season when San Francisco and Atlanta both won over 100 games, and one team had to go.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Sure is. Make it tight for the fans and the team, organization, everybody. It's like the World Cup right now, you know. You win, you go on. You lose, you go home.
That ball is well struck to deep right field. That's a way back and way gone. Oh my! Logan Morrison goes at least 450, and it's now 8-4 Minnesota. Halfway up the upper deck.
Yep, that's his 11th. Another fastball. Both of them that Innie's thrown have been just right down the middle. I mean, sure, they're firm velocity, but this is the big leagues. They love it. You can't throw it hard enough. If it's in the middle, they hit it.
Now Polanco, switch hitter, turns things around, batting from the right side. Houston's won 7 of their last 10 to take a 4-game lead on Seattle. Phillies playing well. They've won 8 of their last 10, and they now have the lead in the National League East by 1 game over Atlanta. Now back. A lot of good races.
Yeah,
I mean Milwaukee and Chicago.
Yeah, that's a good race there. Milwaukee. It's good to feel the energy in their house. We went there a few weeks ago. The NL West. Gosh, there's 4 teams in the race there.
That will do it. But 3 runs come across, a 2-run home run by Dozier, a solo shot by Morrison. When we come back, Perez will be coming up, and so will Moose, and both have gone deep. Morrison on the left, his shot went about 450, and Dozier's went into the upper deck. So our new pitcher will be a left-hander for Minnesota, Zach Duke, pitching in his 40th game this year, and he's always had a lot of success wherever he's been, but mainly facing left-handers. And he'll go right-hander Bonifacio, then left-hander Moustakas, then back to the right side and Salvador Perez.
Yeah, he's had a nice season this year. 2.81 ERA, you'll take that any day. 33 strikeouts, 32 innings. Whenever you have more strikeouts,
no home runs.
Yeah, then innings pitched. That's good. Means you get a little power pitcher, or you have a sneaky pitch. And his pitches are fastball, curve change. His best pitch is his curveball. It's a big one.
And usually when he's faced the Royals, he's been in for one batter. I mean, this is the 18th game he has pitched against the Royals and has only totaled 12 1/3 innings. He's allowed only 1 run, though.
He's got a little arm angle. And actually, he'll vary his arm angles.
Twins are his 8th organization.
Yeah. You know, he have left arm, will travel. And so when you get that kind of mileage on you, you learn how to invent pitches and create with your angle and change speeds and makes him effective.
Well, he's also an example. You don't need to have great velocity. Andy Romero throws 95 and didn't have much success in that last inning, but Zach Duke throws about 87, 88, locates it well, keeps it down. Where's Sandy Koufax's number?
Yep, and has some throwback stirrups on.
I like that.
I do too. It's got the look with the old stirrups we used to wear.
Looks like Jim Cott.
Yep.
Back in the day.
It's a throwback look.
Early 70s. Twins were a good team back then. Rod Carew and Tony Levin, Harmon Killebrew and Jim Cott, Jim Perry. Some of those guys I'm talking about were playing in that 65 World Series, though. There's a swing and a miss. Down goes Bonifacio.
Yep. Most hitters will tell you they don't prefer guys that are soft tossers. They want the gas.
Who's hit a solo shot in the 3rd inning. Tries to tease Mike away. Tim Hill now warming in the Kansas City pen. Bottom of the order will be coming up in Kepler, Cave, and Wilson. In there, 1-1. Oh, there you go, Mike. Beautifully done. I love that.
That's exactly what you do off a guy like Zach Duke.
And the shift.
Yeah.
I mean,
Perfect. Keep the line moving.
They had given him like 70 feet on the left side between the line and the next defender. Why not take the hit, get guys on, and get him in?
That's his 2nd bunt hit of the year.
Here's the Dodge drive of the game. It came back in inning number 1.
Oh, man, I'm telling you what. He picked that ball off his shoe tops. Backspun. Beautiful. 12th homer on the year. It was a laser liner. Beautiful.
And he hits one to right field. An opposite field hit by Perez. After the bunt single by Mike Moustakas,
Okay.
2 on.
Then why can't Duda hit against the shift? Let's see what he can do stepping in the box.
Well, I think they're going to play more straight up, because with runners in 1st and 2nd, you want to keep someone close to that 3rd base bag.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit different. They'll play him differently, but see if Duda can get one in the seats.
They will have 3 infielders on the right side and keep Escobar about 25 feet off the bag at 3rd base.
2 of Duda's homers have come off of left-handers. It's a big bender. That's the pitch he likes.
Trevor Hildenberger starts to warm in the Twins bullpen. Strike.
Duda knows that breaking ball that starts at him is going to be the pitch to hit. And the breaking ball that starts out over the middle is going to be off the plate away. Just couldn't get to that one.
Oh, good rip on a fastball at 88. Fouled it back. 1-2 count. Twins bullpen, they have struggled this year, dead last in save percentage 54. They have the second most blown saves. We talked about that earlier with 17 this year.
He tried.
Once again, they have the voting closed tonight in the American League. Gene Segura had the lead. Andrew Benintendi is in second place right now. Eddie Rosario of the Twins in fourth place. Segura is the shortstop. And the voting closes, I understand, in 10 minutes, 4 o'clock Eastern time. It will be announced tonight at 8 Eastern. The National League leader was Jesus Aguilar of the Milwaukee Brewers, with Brandon Belt second in the voting. Then Max Muncy, great name for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Trey Turner was fourth in the voting, and then Matt Carpenter of the Cardinals in the National League All-Star fan voting. The All-Star game just 6 days away on Fox from our nation's capital. Pop foul. Try it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I like Lucas is getting some good swings. You've seen that breaking ball start at him enough to know if that's going to be a pitch he can jump on. Get it back in the game. There it was.
And he swings and misses on the slowest curveball that he threw him.
Yep.
74 miles an hour.
Jeff, just like we were talking, he changes arm angles and speeds on those pitches. And Duda knew that it started at him, but it was just too low.
So 2 out for Alex Gordon. Strike 1. Alex blasted his 166th home run of his Royals career in last night's 9-4 KC win. Popped him up. Escobar wants it, and he'll take the. And the Royals do not score. They lead 2, and it's now 8-4 Twins. Royals as we are in the bottom of the 7th inning of play. Tim Hill is the new pitcher for Kansas City, and he is pitching in his 38th game this year.
Like to get that ERA working down again. He's going to have to execute his pitches where he wants them. Stay out of the middle. Lately he's been in the middle. They've been getting hit. He's got a fastball, slider, changeup. Likes to sink the fastball. It's 38th game.
There will be Kepler, Cave, and Wilson here in the bottom of the 7th. Tim took the loss on Monday, entering with a 1-0 lead in the 7th inning and allowing a double to Bobby Wilson, a single to Joe Mauer, and an RBI groundout to Eddie Rosario. Mauer later came around to score on a hit off of Kevin McCarthy, and there's a grounder wide of the mark. Strike one.
He'll take that. He would have. That stayed fair. Any way he can get out.
You got one of the coolest letters from a lady. Is she in Nebraska or Iowa?
I have. I get lots of letters from people, and they're welcome to write to the ballpark there at the K if they got any questions. But this lovely lady, Ruby Schultz, she wrote a little letter, Fizz. Want to know how many baseballs are used during the course of a game. She's 81 years young. She watches the games on TV. And I found out, I did some research, 6 dozen balls per case, and there's 3 cases per game used. It's a lot of baseballs. And, you know, that's foul balls and balls that hit the dirt from a thrown pitch that are thrown out. I mean, you know, it's only used one time. And then, of course, all the balls that are used for batting practice before a game. There's a little bouncer. And, you know, batting practice at home, 8 dozen balls are used, 9 dozen per day.
There's a lot of baseballs being manufactured every day.
Think about it.
Getting hit into the seats, fans taking them home, bringing them back to the ballpark, maybe having an autograph by your favorite player.
Yep. So, Ruby, thank you for your letter.
So you said 6 dozen.
Or is in a case, and there are 3 cases per game.
Cave 2 for 3 today. Hill will recover and make this play and throw him out. 2 down.
Ruby's from Shawnee, by the way.
Oh, Shawnee, Kansas?
That's right. Hey, so Fizz, let's look ahead to the White Sox game. Why don't we?
We've got tomorrow off, and then Brad Keller will match up against former Royal James Shields on Friday night. Then on Saturday afternoon, Danny Duffy against Reynaldo Lopez. In our last game before the break, Royals still unsure of who they'll pitch because Kennedy went on the DL today, and Lucas Giolito will throw for Chicago. Kennedy going the DL because of tightness in his side. Received an MRI. Find out more about that MRI after the ball game, but meantime on the disabled list. The Royals will be careful in his recovery. Bottom of the order has really done an excellent job. Kepler on base twice, scored twice. Cave 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored, 1 RBI. Bobby Wilson 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, run scored. Foul back.
I love it. Wilson, heck, what's he got to lose? Just to catch a couple times a week. He's up there hacking, swinging, making some good contact today. Couple knocks.
In there for a strike and a 2-2 count.
Good spot for Hill. He really wants to utilize the inside part of the plate, especially against righties, because they're looking out over the plate. If he's staying middle away, they're looking to hit there. Bust him in. There you go.
Right back there.
Yeah, he's able to get out on his front foot, his front side, execute. And when he doesn't, he says he's not finishing.
Bobby Wilson with a 3-hit game. Came in hitting 140. Now Joe Mauer 2 for 4, but he's a guy with a great history against the Royals, batting .320 in his career. First pitch inside, ball 1. His next double will give him the Twins record. He is currently tied with Kirby Puckett with 414 doubles in his career.
Yeah, but he's got some longevity. A lot of time here with his team.
Two finals from earlier today. Tampa Bay beat Detroit 4-2 and Pittsburgh over Washington 2-0. With a slurvy breaking ball that Mauer swings over the top of. Count Hill's way, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I like that. You know, when you take a lot off of that breaking ball, that really throws the timing off. That's what it's all about. Taking a page out of Zach Duke. Just flip it up there.
Fouled off. Back up and in at 92 miles an hour to Joe Mauer.
Sets up the slow breaker right here, Fizz. That's what he wants to do.
We got Joe out in front of that breaking ball that was 78 miles an hour. And Mauer picks up his 3rd hit of the day.
Yeah, there it was. He just didn't put it where he wanted it. Got the, he had him set up for it. Came in, and then he just kind of left it up over the plate. Middle.
Minnesota has had a ton of base runners today. They have 8 runs on 15 hits. The Royals with 4 runs on 7. And Rosario pops it up. Escobar wants it. Gordon will let him take it. And that is it. Hill a while, but he's able to get that final out of the 7th. Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. And by Pizza Ranch. Hungry for legendary pizza and chicken? It's Pizza Ranch for the win. Beautiful afternoon in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Twins with an 8-4 lead as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Royals will have the bottom of the order coming up, and they'll be facing Alan Bucinic, who just came up today. He hails from Watkinsville, Georgia, has made 3 career appearances versus the Royals, and has a 2.45 ERA in his past against KC.
Yep, he's got a nice arm. He'll go low to mid-90s, maybe a little bit past that. Big 12-6 curveball and occasional changeup. Hides the ball pretty well behind him. Pick up that release point. Kind of has a slinging effect on his heater.
And this marks his 3rd stint with the Twins this year. Had recently made 3 appearances for the Red Wings since last being optioned. Escobar, he's been on once, hit by a pitch. Royals had a golden opportunity in the top of the 6th inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. But Mondesi and Butera struck out and Merrifield popped up, and that was it. These are the rebuild years, but got to take a look at some of the young talent that the Royals have been able to pick up. They had a very good draft, and one of their sandwich picks in between the 1st and 2nd round, Dan Lynch, I understand, was promoted from rookie ball to Class A Lexington today. So he'll be with our Lexington ball club, and we've loaded a bunch of talented players with that group. So congratulations to Dan Lynch. And at high A, Wilmington, one of our former 1st round picks, Nolan Watson, pitched well last night, got the victory in a 8-3 Wilmington victory. Gave up 3 runs, went 7 innings. Nick Heath with a couple of hits and a home run. It's past the mound. Dozier, save.
Eske, he helped out first base umpire Lance Barksdale on that. He crossed the bag and threw his hands out like he was safe. See if Molitor wants to replay that or not. Let's. I think he beat it. Good for Eske. Good hustle. He earned it.
He wants him to take a look, though. They want to listen.
I don't know. I haven't missed today myself.
Can't just enter the glove. It has to hit the back of the glove. And, boy, that's awfully close.
Oh, well.
So they'll talk with New York, discuss this play, and the Royals hoping to have a man on and get action, runners on, and not only just move runners, but get them across home plate. Royals have left 8 stranded in this contest.
I think he got it. But it's got to be convincing.
Safe.
Good for Eske. He helped him on the call. Call stands.
Now Mondesi, who has been on once with a base hit, raised his average to 234. Ball 1. Fouled back, and he had a good swing on a Busnich 96-mile-an-hour heater. He got a fastball up and tomahawked it.
Yeah.
Deep, almost completely out of the stadium last night.
Yeah, similar pitch.
And he teased him upstairs. Foul back again, a fastball up. Mondesi like. Now Busnich was originally drafted by the Angels in the 25th round in 2013, and then acquired by Minnesota for Ricky Nolasco at the trade deadline in 2016, just 2 years ago.
Yeah, you know, with a 4-run lead, it's going to challenge hitters.
Oh man,
There you
line
go.
out into a double play.
It's a little bit of hard luck there. All that room to the right and left, he's got to hit it right at the guy. That's baseball. There's nowhere to go. You're 4 runs down. You can't get doubled up on that.
Ball 1.
Eske's a veteran player. He knows better.
We'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Check swing, and it's a strike and a 1-2 count. Royals have just 3 more before the All-Star break. 3 in Chicago, Keller, Duffy, and to be determined Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against Shields, Lopez, and Giolito. And this is the time of the year where you have a lot of scouts moving around, going to All-Star games. The AAA All-Star game is tonight. We talked about that. Oaks and Schwindel will be representing our Storm Chasers in that. I'm really interested in watching next week's Futures game to watch Sully Matias.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Leads all minor leaguers in home runs with 26, and he's with our Lexington Ball Club. Ground ball left side, fielded by Polanco. And that will do it for the Royals in the 8th. Minnesota by 4. Detroit and Tampa Bay. C.J. Cron with his 18th home run this year off of Zimmerman. Tampa Bay was going to win that ball game 4-2.
Cron is raking this year.
Here's a look at the American League Central. The Cleveland Indians, even though they have the big lead over the Minnesota Twins, they've lost 4 straight, including one last night where Bauer couldn't pitch any better. 8 shutout innings, and then the bullpen flat blew it. Both their closer, Cody Allen, and Dan Otero gave up 6-7 runs in that 9th inning.
Yep, happens.
Jason Adam comes out of the Royals bullpen. He'll pitch the 8th. Royals with tomorrow off, so they should have a full rested bullpen for that Chicago series.
Yep, Jason Adam. He's got a fastball he'll throw at him, believe me. He's got good, firm heat, mid to upper 90s, overhand curve changeup.
Strike 1. Whenever we come to Minnesota, we see some of their stars, Burt Lyman, Jack Morris. Jack, of course, involved in one of the greatest pitching performances in World Series history. He and John Smoltz locked up in one of the great classics between Atlanta and the Twins. Breaking ball in there, strike 3 called. And you had a chance to visit with Jack the other day.
He was here the first day in. Check him out. Jack going into the Hall of Fame. It was a long wait for him. He was towards the end of his time. As far as the balloting goes, time was up and they voted him in, and he's very worthy. I talked to him. I said, do you have your speech written? He says, it's all written up. I'm all ready to go. And we'll see him. He'll do some booth with the Minnesota Twins here at our place.
Fly ball right. Bonifacio makes the catch, and very quickly 2 outs in the 8th inning. And you know, Hud, he was absolutely deserving to go into the Hall of Fame. A lot of times when those who vote, they look at just numbers. But it's like Sparky Anderson told me one time. He said, if you scored 1 run, Jack Morris would shut you out. But if we scored 7 runs, Jack may give up 4, because all he wanted to do was win. And he said, but he was fire. He was competitive.
Yeah, no, you miss his type. His type of player is not around.
And he went 9.
You know, Scherzer, there might be a couple of guys like him. Verlander, but not many.
Boy, that game in the World Series was awfully special, and he went 10.
Yeah, didn't worry about a pitch count. If you'd have brought that pitch count up to him, he'd have told you where to put it. No, that attitude is really good. It's competitiveness. It's a drive to win, just like you said.
Both Jack and Burt had that mentality when they were on the mound. They looked at the batter, and they didn't matter if it was a Hall of Famer or a rookie. Their thought was, you've got a problem because you're facing me.
Yep.
Good class this year. Tomey, Trevor Hoffman, Chipper Jones.
Big Daddy Vladdy.
Big Daddy Vladdy.
And our friend Jose Mota is going to interpret for him.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Alan Trammell. Tram's in. One of my favorite shortstops.
Another gamer.
That's great. I'm
And
happy.
Lou Whitaker, one of the great Keystone combinations of all time.
Ooh, that's a good swing there, but Alex got it.
And it's a 1-2-3-8. Good job by Adam. And we'll come right back with the Royals trailing by 4.
Boulevard Royals Live. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery, and an up and down starting debut as a Royal for Birch Smith. Monty will analyze that. Salvia and Moose go deep. Plus, we'll get you ready for the White Sox series, all three on Fox Sports Kansas City, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. See you in a bit on Boulevard Royals Live.
Thank you, Joel. And when Monty left the booth, he said, Birch Smith, I mean, the numbers may not show it, 4 runs and 3 1/3, but he did pitch well. And when he left the game, he had given up 2, but the 2 on base did come around to score. And that's why Royals are trailing 8-4 now in the 9th inning. It'll be Merrifield, Bonifacio, Moustakas. Last chance for Witt to extend his hit streak to 13 straight. High ball 1.
It's going to get him a fastball.
104 hits this year. Started the day 8th in the American League in that department. And he gets a strike. It's an even count. 9th inning, trailing by 4. He was going to take a strike. Way high, and Witt has to duck out of the way and loses his helmet. This young man competes from the first pitch to the last.
Oh,
good swing.
He's got a nice swing. You know, his head. I tell you, the head determines a lot. Same way in golf. You pull your head, you pull the shot, you slice. Baseball, you pull off, you foul it off. You miss, but he's right on it.
Busnitz with a good fastball at 97 strikes him out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals. Now Bonifacio, who had the base hit back in the first inning and then scored the first Royal run on the home run by Salvador Perez, but then struck out the next 3 times. But Busnitz really letting that fastball fly. He has touched 97.
4-run lead. That's what you do when you have that kind of power fastball. You just challenge hitters. And Whitley's an excellent fastball hitter, and he blew it right by him. Here it is, challenging, hit it.
Reared back at 95 and continues to challenge the Royal hitters, starting with Merrifield and Bonifacio. He was able to work a shutout 8th inning. Opposite field, Kepler. 2 out.
Fans, to celebrate Salvador Perez's 6th consecutive All-Star Game selection, the Royals are offering fans special discounted $13 outfield plaza tickets to the Tigers series. That's July 23rd through the 25th. This deal is available for a limited time only through Friday at 11:59 p.m. So head over to Price Chopper or Royals.com/steal the deal to grab your seats.
Moose has been on base 3 times in this game, reaching on an error, hitting a home run, and then bunt single. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2. Foul back. Ball well struck, deep right center field.
Get out.
And it is a goner.
All right.
Home run by Mike. His second of the day and number 19 this year.
I was wondering, with Bushnitz challenging hitters, you know, you have to step up and take him deep. You know, take a good swing. And Moose got him. Multi-home run game. Excellent job. Short to the ball, you're going to challenge him. Hey, all you got to do is get the back underside, just exactly like that. Congratulations, Moose.
He was definitely all-star worthy with his numbers coming in, and now 19 home runs and 58 RBI. He was voted in a couple of years at 15 and 17.
Yeah.
Garvin Alston still visiting with pitcher Bucinich, and now it's broken up by home plate umpire Ted Barrett.
I don't blame him.
And a reminder that we'll have tomorrow off, and then we go to Chicago. Game 1 will be Brad Keller against James Shields on Friday night. At 3 with the White Sox Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then have the All-Star break, and then we'll host these Minnesota Twins and Detroit Tigers right after the All-Star break, July 20th through the 25th. It's 2 night games, Friday and Saturday, against the Twins at Kauffman Stadium, and a Sunday game followed by 3 with Detroit. Strike in there, and it's a 1-1 count. Salvi way out in front of that off-speed pitch. Check swing, did he go? They do not appeal. Barrett said, I'll take it from here. And it's a 2-2 count now to the Royals' designated hitter, Salvador Perez. Foul off just barely. Once again, the Royals down to their last strike. They had the similar situation with Mike Moustakas, and then he belted one out. Perez trying to get on any way possible, keep this game going. He does not, going to one knee as he swings and misses and strikes out. And the Twins take 2 of 3 from Kansas City. Final score 8-5. We'll be right back.